Hi, and welcome to Solving Linear Equations Part 3. In this video, we look at solving equations where the coefficient is not 1 and in fact it's a fraction. So please pause the video now so that you can attempt the questions by yourself and then play it when you are ready to mark. Okay, we're going to start with the first question. So the first question is a fifth x is equal to 2. Now, once again, when we are solving linear equations, what we hope to do is get x by itself. Now, what is attached to x is a fifth. So to get rid of it, there's one of two things that we can do. Is we can multiply by the reciprocal of a fifth. So basically a fifth upside down. So multiplying by 5/1. And the rule is whatever we do to one side, we have to also do to the other side. So multiplying both sides by 5/1. So what does this do is then the 5 cancel out, the 1s cancel out, and we get x by itself. And then 2 times 5/1 is 10/1, which is basically 10. So that is the first question. Let us have a look at the second one. So we have x/3 minus 1 is equal to 7. The first thing is we would like to get the term with the x and the coefficient by itself. So we'll take anything that's added or subtracted away by moving it to the other side. So we have the x/3 is equal to 7 is on the other side. So we're taking the 1 over, and when we take it over, the sign changes. So we get x/3 is then equal to 8. Then we would like to get rid of the 3 in the denominator. So again, we're going to multiply it by a 3 in the numerator over 1. And what we do to the one side, we have to do to the other side and in an equation. And then the 3's cancel out, and x/1 is just x. And then 8 times 3/1 is 24/1, which is just simply 24. The next question is x/2 plus 1 is equal to minus 3. Again, we're first going to take the 1 over, and when we take the 1 over, its sign changes, so it becomes minus 1. And then we have x/2 is minus 3 minus 1, which is minus 4. We would like to get rid of the 2 in the denominator, so we're going to multiply it by 2/1. And what we do to the one side, we also do to the other side. So 2's cancel out, and then we just have x/1, which is x, and minus 4 times positive 2/1 is minus 8/1, which is just minus 8. Minus a third x plus 2 is equal to minus 5 is the next question. First, we take over the 2. So the minus 5 was there, and when we take over the minus 2, it becomes negative. So we have a third x is equal to negative 7, and we would like to get rid of the negative a third. So we're going to multiply by negative 3/1 in this case. And why negative 3/1 is because we want the answer to be positive. So the negative and the negative will cancel to give us a positive, and then we'll just have x on this side, and minus 7 times minus 3. Negative times a negative is positive 21. The fifth question is 3 minus x/4 is equal to 4. The first thing is we're going to take the 3 over, and when we take the 3 over, its sign changes to minus 3. And then 4 minus 3 is 1. So we would like to get rid of this 4. So what will we have to multiply both sides by? Well, if the 4 is in the denominator, we're going to need a 4 in the numerator, and always over 1 if there's nothing else. and then a minus to get rid of that minus. And what we multiply on the one side, we also have on the other side. And then the 4's and the negative cancels out, just leave us with x. And 1 times minus 4 over 1 is minus 4. Number 6 is a little bit different. So this here is 3 over 2x is equal to 4. So we would like to get rid of both the 3 and the 2. So we're going to have to multiply it with something that cancels out both. So we're going to multiply it with the fraction swapped around. So this is 3 over 2, so we're going to multiply it by 2 over 3. And we're going to do the same multiplication on both sides. So the 2's then cancel out, the 3's then cancel out, leaving us just with x. And then if you want to help you with the multiplication, you can put the 4 over 1. So 4 times 2 is 8, and 1 times 3 is 3. So x is then equal to 8 over 3. The next one, again, we have minus 5 over 4, x is equal to 15. So the x has a coefficient that's a fraction that we want to get rid of. So what will we multiply it with? With the fraction turned around. So it is 4 over 5. And because we also like to get rid of the negative sign, we're also going to multiply it with the negative. What we do to the one side, we do to the other side. And then simplifying this, the 5's would cancel out, the 4's cancel out, the negatives cancel out, leaving us just with x. And again, you can put this over 1. 15 times minus 4 is minus 60 over 1 times 5 is 5. And that you can simplify to as minus 12. Next, we have 4 over 5x minus 1 is equal to 2. Again, first, let's try and get this term by itself. So what we're going to do is move the 1 over. So it's 4 over 5x is equal to 2. And when we take the 1 over, it becomes positive 1. So 4 over 5x is equal to 3. So again, we would like to multiply it by something to get rid of the coefficient. So it's the fraction the other way around. So this is 4 over 5. So we'll multiply it with 5 over 4. What we do to the one side, we have to do to the other side in an equation. And then the 5's cancel and the 4's cancel, leaving us with just x. And again, you can put this over 1. So this is 3 times 5, which is 15 over 1 times 4. You can leave it in that form, or you could simplify it further. So now let's look at the second last one. 3 over 4x plus 12 is equal to 17. First thing, we're going to move over the 12. So 3 over 4x, and the 17 is there. When we take over the 12, it becomes negative 12. So it's 3 over 4x is equal to 17 minus 12 is 5. And then we would like to get rid of the coefficient. So we're going to multiply it by it upside the fraction swapped around. So it's 4 times over 3. So what we do to the one side, we do to the other side. And then we get the 3's will cancel out, the 4's will cancel out, and we get x by itself. And we can put it over 1 if you want to help with the multiplication. So it's 5 times 4 in the numerator over 1 times 3 in the denominator. The last one, we have 3 minus 2 over 3x is equal to 4. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take that 3 over. So it's minus 2 over 3x is equal to 4 minus 3. The sign of the 3 will change. And then we get minus 2 over 3 is equal to 4 minus 3 is 1. We would like to multiply this by the inverse, the reciprocal inverse. So the fraction swapped around. So that's minus 3 over 2. And the minus is to get rid of the minus. And what we do on the one side, we have to do on the other side. So this year, the 2's cancel, the 3's cancel, the minuses cancel, giving you just x. And 1 times anything is that thing. So 1 times minus 3 over 2 is minus 3 over 2. That is the video on how to solve the equations when our coefficient is not 1 if it is a fraction. Please make sure that you watched part 1 and part 2 to help you understand the process, and part 3 would make sense. Next, I would recommend part 4 on how to deal with more linear equations.